Well, National News Literacy Week continues, and yesterday we took you to Rockford High School to hear from journalism students there and how they're learning to be active consumers of news and finding the facts.
Melissa Heron joining us with how they've learned to accurately share their stories on multiple platforms with the community. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Well, the broadcast journalism students who are a part of Beyond the Rock program at Rockford High School went from doing weekly newscasts to all of a sudden becoming the main source of information for the community for live stream sports, board meetings, and student news, all while doing it remote.
During March, we had to really change how we did our school news because obviously we'd sit at the news desk, 2 people, not with 6 feet of social distancing. And so it was a really big change going online. We'd have to communicate a lot more between everyone to make sure that we still get our school news out.
And with that came some quick lessons on how the students could produce stories remotely.
We did a lot of lessons on mobile videography, so our students were shooting and sometimes editing on their phones or maybe their own laptops. When we got to the fall and we were able to meet in person a little bit, they could check out some of our gear and use some of our gear, but it was a complete change. And we got some microphones that would hook up to their phones, so we had to do a lot of shifting when it came to producing their content and how they delivered it. But it was amazing because we told them it's the principles that count, so you can use the same principles in shooting good video, whether you have the fancy gear or the simple things, you just had to apply them.
Beyond the Rock broadcast soon became a trusted source for the community during the pandemic.
Last year, it was definitely just the usual, do our school news, help with community videos, but once the pandemic hit, it was like, oh, let's have everyone from Beyond the Rock live stream and get information out to the community with anything that we can do.
The students started streaming not only weekly news stories, but board meetings and, of course, sports.
We've been live streaming of different events that we never thought we would in the past. Our sports, minimal seating in the stadium, the parents had to watch from home, so we knew that was a priority of us to get that game out there so they could watch it.
It was definitely interesting to see how a key part of the community we were, making sure that parents and grandparents that aren't able to go to the games could watch the games.
And before they knew it, Beyond the Rock's audience was growing.
I compared last year's numbers of how many videos we put out on our YouTube channel, and it was, I think we did around 30 to 40 district videos, school videos, compared to this year. This was 2 months ago, and I had over 70, 80 videos that we've done.
A quick pivot in production, but the students adapted and learned the impact they were able to make.
Things can change anytime and super fast, so adapting quickly to whatever's going on around you and using all your resources is really important, so it can prepare them for if you're going into news and everything changes so quickly.
Now, of course, to check out Beyond the Rock, we do have them linked to this story on our mobile news app, and News Literacy Week continues tomorrow. We're going to be catching up with some of the broadcast journalism students at Michigan State University. Of course, for more information, check out our mobile news app. Mike, Deanna, back to you guys.